Hey guys, so today's video is about Shane Dawson. He actually recently made a comeback with a new video called The Lawsuit of Shane Dawson. It's actually number 12 on trending as of me watching it yesterday and doing my notes. It was number 12 on trending, and yeah, so I'm just going to talk about that. Hey guys, today's video is very kindly sponsored by Function of Beauty, who have been my choice of shampoo and conditioner for probably almost 2 years now, and I've just been loving them. Loved every second. If you guys wonder what I use on my hair, because I get a lot of those comments like, oh my god, how do you keep your hair shiny when you bleach and tone it? It's Function of Beauty. So you can click the link in description. You'll get 20% off your new 16-ounce custom set. I currently have the smaller size for travel, which is the 8-ounce set, but you can get the 16-ounce if that's what you want. So before we get into anything else, my favorite bit, I'm talking to you guys about my profile, which is the whole deal with Function of Beauty is that it's super custom. So my hair is straight, it's medium thickness and normal levels of oiliness on the scalp. My goals are deep condition, fix split ends, shine, strengthen and volumize, and I picked Perfection as my scent, which is apple and pear, and I picked Strong because I just love when my hair smells nice for days. My hair grows so quickly. When I go to the hairdressers, they have to trim off quite a bit every single time, and they're like, how does it grow so quickly? I'm like, it's just because it doesn't break off, because it's all nourished and taken care of. So even though I bleach and tone my hair, because I'm nourishing it, there are no split ends, and then I don't have to trim off as much because it's not damaged in any way, and my hair grows super quickly. My hair looks super shiny, it holds a curl, it looks great, it's volumized but it's not dry, and yeah, I just love the way Function of Beauty makes my hair feel and look. I think you guys have seen a difference. You guys have definitely over the past year or so have been asking me a lot what I use on my hair, so that makes me really happy that you guys can like tell the difference between me not using Function of Beauty and me using Function of Beauty. So if you guys want the same effect, click the link in the description to get 20% off your new custom 16-ounce set. Now a few other professional things. Function of Beauty is dermatologist tested, it's cruelty free, it has no parabens, sulfates, it's 100% vegan and cruelty free. I wanted to make sure that we got all of that covered. So now let's get back into the tea. Also, social media will be in the description along with my second channel, anything else you might need to find, and let's just get into it. So Shane actually posted this on Instagram being like, the lawsuit of Shane Dawson, link in bio, and I went on his YouTube and as of me watching it had been posted for a day. So in that day, it gathered 1.8 million views, which I think is actually pretty good. All things considered, I think it's actually pretty good. And in the pinned comment, he said, I know this probably is not what you want, but I really enjoyed making it. Haha, hope you liked it. Excited to start making more videos. And he's like, you know, everyone wants conspiracy videos from him and everyone wants him to go back to the old Shane and the roots and like what he was doing back in the day. And apparently this is not what people want from him. Just like a random vlog where he just talks about random things. But he's like, you know, I guess he's just waiting to get back into the swing of things. He doesn't really post a lot. He posted a 3-part series that was okay received. Like the reaction was okay. And since then he hadn't posted anything, and then this is the first time he's posting since then. So I guess people are just maybe a bit disappointed by the content. But I don't know, you guys let me know. Anyway, the lawsuit that he is actually in fact talking about is Chuck E. Cheese, which if you guys don't remember, at Shane Dawson's height, at his peak of his YouTube channel, his career, he did a lot of conspiracy videos, and one of them included a conspiracy theory about Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese being a pizza place. It's kind of like a kid's restaurant in America, like some soft play situation, and they just sell pizza and fast food. Essentially, there's been a lot of conspiracy theories regarding the pizza, because when you order a whole pizza there, the slices come mismatched, like they're not the same size, they look like they've been cut out of different pizzas, and people have been saying, are these leftovers from like, if a kid gets a whole pizza but only eats like 3 slices, are they going to take these slices and then mix and match them with other slices to create a whole pizza to not throw the pizza away? And people are basically just like concerned that they're eating someone's leftovers. Now, my theory for why this is happening would probably be if they sell individual slices. Like if they sell whole pizzas, this doesn't apply. I live in the UK, so I don't really know what Chuck E. Cheese works like and functions like over there. But if they sell individual slices and then they have like those display pizzas, maybe sometimes they just take whatever slices they have left over and mix and match it into one pizza, so they don't throw away the display pizza, if that makes sense. Or like the one that they take individual slices from. That would make more sense, because then it's actually like eco-friendly, all of that good stuff. If they make a pizza and someone literally just buys 2 slices and you have all the other rest of the pizza, and then you just have random 2 slices somewhere else, you can just join it into one pizza, and it's not like you're reusing someone's like food leftovers. You just have like this display pizza that you essentially just mix and matched into one pizza. But that's not what Chuck E. Cheese said, which is a whole different thing. Like, please take me as your PR agent, because my theory actually makes people less disgusted. I don't know, I just think it's like, whatever. In that theory, he goes to Chuck E. Cheese, he buys a pizza. Of course, it's mismatched. This goes viral. Like, everyone's talking about Chuck E. Cheese. Everyone's making their own theories about Chuck E. Cheese. People are disgusted. You know, Ellen talked about it. Like, everyone talked about it. And behind the scenes, Chuck E. Cheese had sent Shane Dawson a hefty lawsuit, basically just asking him to stop talking about them, you know, to take it back, yada, yada, yada. And Shane Dawson's lawyers had to deal with that. And then Shane, in this video, goes back to Chuck E. Cheese, orders another pizza, and basically talks about the situation being, he made this video with his conspiracy theory, it went crazy, and then Chuck E. Cheese lawyers reached out to Shane Dawson's lawyer and handed him a hefty lawsuit. And then he actually goes over what the spokesperson said for Chuck E. Cheese. So he Googled it now, and he was like, okay, let's actually look up what Chuck E. Cheese says is the reason for why they have mismatched pizza. So when he Googled it, allegedly a spokesperson for Chuck E. Cheese said that they're made in store, like handmade, so they're not perfect. And that's why the slices are mismatched, which absolutely makes no sense because they look like they're from different pizzas. So that theory from the spokesperson, I want to know the salary of this spokesperson because I should be getting double. For my theory being, if they're like Costco, oh my god, Costco is the perfect example. Because if you hand make pizza, it's not a perfect circle, it's not perfect size. But if you're like Costco and you sell individual slices as well as full pizzas, you can then take whatever's left over from the individual slice pizza and then make it into a whole pizza. But because it's not like Costco, like a perfect circle, it's going to be a little bit mismatched. Wouldn't that be a much clearer theory of just like, hey, we make pizza, we sell it in slices, but then we don't actually want to waste whatever is left over from the pizza that is being sold for slices? Anyway, this spokesperson takes some lessons from me. And then employees from Chuck E. Cheese actually said that they just struggle to cut it. So the spokesperson for Chuck E. Cheese is saying one thing, I'm saying another thing, people are saying another thing, and then employees are coming out and saying, no, it's because we're struggling to cut it. Like, the pizzas are really big and we have these small cutters, and then when we cut, the pizza moves and we cut it mismatched, but then that also doesn't make sense because it wouldn't make the slices longer. It wouldn't make the slices different lengths. It would just be cut a little bit wonky, but that wouldn't change the size of the pizza slices. So either way, everyone's just doing their thing, okay? He buys another pizza. Well, he buys two pizzas, one pepperoni, one cheese. They come mismatched, but they're not quite as bad as they were last time he did this, which makes me think that they're still doing whatever they're doing. And I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're still doing it. But they're just doing it a little bit more carefully so that it looks like it's one pizza instead of slices. Now, in the video, he also mentions Emma Chamberlain, so Chamberlain Coffee, and just mentions Emma Chamberlain. And then quickly, him and Ryland start saying how she's not endorsing this video and she's not like, you know, this has nothing to do with Emma. Like, Emma hasn't approved us talking about her. She's not friends with us. And I think it's because he knows that people are going to reach out to Emma and be like, oh my god, why are you associating with Shane and Ryland? Why are you sending them coffee? Why are you sending them stuff? Are you endorsing them? And then she would have to publicly speak out and be like, no, I'm not endorsing them. I'm not friends with them. And it would create another mayhem for Shane and Ryland where, you know, someone else has to like disavow them. And everyone's disavowed them by now. So it's just kind of like, I think they were just covering their backs and being like, yeah, like Emma Chamberlain, we love her, but also she's not endorsing this video. She's not associated with us. Like, please don't attack her, please. And then he's also joking about the wedding not happening because there's some issues with inviting guests, mainly just like if they had YouTube friends that they wanted to invite, a lot of those friends, like I said, disavowed them. And I feel like that's maybe created some awkward situations where like if you wanted to invite someone, they're not really available anymore because of past scandals that Shane has been in. I feel like the last 2 years for him have been kind of crazy, whether that's like online, they've been crazy, but then that also translates to personal life because a lot of his personal life friends are his online friends. So because it's so mismatched for him, internet drama then bleeds through to his personal life. And because he's had this wedding that he's planning, if a lot of those friends that he had online and in his personal life have now disavowed him publicly, he's obviously not going to invite them to his wedding. So now they're struggling, and he made a few jokes about like the wedding just not happening because he's like, who am I going to invite? I have no friends. Oh, it's kind of crazy, like the effects of the internet on personal life, but that's a whole separate conversation. He also wants to do a podcast. Now, Shane, let's talk about why this is a problem. Let's talk about this as a problem because, so he used to have a podcast called Shane and Friends where a lot of drama came from. Like, I remember when he first started getting into his scandal, you know, after By Sister and after he posted the stuff about the beauty community and leaving the beauty community, a lot of old clips of him came out. One of them being about his cat, which is the infamous cat joke situation. That came from his podcast. But then there was another one about a young toddler. And then there was another one about a really young girl that posts what he deemed as seductive pictures on Instagram. And then he started talking about children in a way that wasn't appropriate, and that also came from the podcast. And there were many instances that started the scandal for him that came from that podcast, because it was a very controversial podcast. I remember listening to it when I was younger, and I thought it was like edgy and cool because I didn't get it. Like, I was about 10, I didn't get it, and I probably shouldn't have been listening to it. But I don't remember listening to it after that. I think once I turned like 11-12, I think I just stopped finding it entertaining, so I stopped listening to it. So I don't really know what happened after that, but I remember it being quite edgy, and I think I liked it when I was 10, because when you're 10 you're like a little bit stupid, and then after that you gain some brain cells and you're like, wow, this is actually quite cringy and just like weirdly edgelordy and just unnecessary. And after that, you know, a lot of things happened. So I just think that podcast was the cause of a lot of issues for Shane, because a lot of things were said on there that people then found and, you know, dissected, and it wasn't great. But two, Ryland has a podcast called The Sip with Lizzie, where a lot of drama happened as well. You know, drama with Trisha, drama with just like the internet. Like, whenever he had something to say, he would go on that podcast and talk about it, and then people would talk about the podcast. So before Shane came back to the internet, he basically just like used The Sip as like a way to talk to people. So now that he's coming out with his own podcast, now I'm wondering, is it going to be alone? Is it going to be with someone? What's he gonna do on it? But I think he said he wanted to do like celebrity interviews and like conspiracy theories and like a few different things. But at this point, I'm like, what celebrity is gonna go on there and let Shane interview them, considering everything that's happened with Shane and how bad it is to be associated with him in any way? Who's gonna go on the podcast? I don't know, but that's just what's happening. So be prepared for a Shane Dawson podcast. And that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give a thumbs up, comment down below, anything to comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time something happens. So hit that bell, you'll be notified when that's happening. Social media links, any of the links in the description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.